What's the best screenplay someone's ever submitted to you?
Best screenplay somebody's ever submitted to me. Wow. I've been fortunate to read some good ones. I mean, I got a script called Chase the Sunset from C.J. Wally years ago. That's what turned me on to work with him. It was just, again, it was a film I couldn't really make, but it was just really good. And then I was sent a script by Nicole Fairbrother a while back, and it was a love story called The One. And it was just a beautiful, pure coming-of-age story for a married woman who realized she was in a situation that wasn't healthy. It wasn't an abusive relationship. It was a loving marriage. It was a complacent marriage. But it was a dream of hers to be a writer, and she wanted to put a toe in the water in the writing world and how her writing was accepted and the doors that opened to her. And it was told from a woman's point of view. And it was just a beautiful story. And it was, occasionally you find these gems that come your way that you don't expect. They're happy surprises where you read it and you say, God, someday it would be great to have the power to just give everybody the middle finger and make it. And who cares if it should or couldn't be done? And when I say it can't be done or I couldn't do it, it's because we have people that we're beholden to that write checks to make movies. They expect films that are going to be marketed and marketable and going to work in certain markets that pay a certain amount. And you just know sometimes reading a script, this is not going to work. But boy, sometimes you try to work with the writer and say, can we finagle it a little here and finagle a little there and see if we can. And sometimes the writers are so hell-bent on the vision of the story, they say no. And they say, I don't care if it never gets made. It's going to stay the way it is or never get made. And I have a lot of respect for that. I really do. Those two were real special.
When you say give the middle finger, and I realize you're just using this metaphor, but what does that entail? Like, what does it really mean? Are there people actively stopping the production, or?
No, what it means is I'm very fortunate. I work with backers who don't read scripts. They don't know or care who's in them. They don't ask. It's usually a synopsis, a page, a paragraph. This is what it's about. Here's some teaser artwork to kind of give you an idea of the world. And we'll usually just Photoshop a one sheet and say, this is the idea, this is it. How much do you need? This much. Okay. And they trust me and know that this is something that'll sell around the globe and that they're gonna make their investment back, hopefully plus, and it makes sense. When I say give the middle finger, giving the middle finger would be knowing I'm asking an investor to sign up for something that the chances are very slim they're going to see their money back because it's not a marketable product. And also knowing that my sales reps, fortunately we have a good relationship, they'll take it on, but I know I've kneecapped them because I've given them this as a story to sell. You know what I mean? There's that, okay, well, you're going to kill half the territories are not going to buy it. And instead of getting $50,000 for a 3-year license in Spain, they're going to give you $8,000 for 5 years. Is that really what you want? Well, that's not fair to your investor. But hey, it's art. And when I say to give the middle, it'd be nice to be in a position where I don't care, I'll write the check. Or I have an investor, we've had so much success, they're begging for a loss. Maybe this is the one, and that does happen. It's hard. Nobody wants to go in to fail. But there are some stories that are some of the best scripts I've ever written, and it doesn't matter who stars in them or who does them. You just know that this is not a marketable product. But God, it's good. It's a story that needs to be told, and especially when you come out of something like COVID. As we talked about, we don't want drama right now. Dramas are tough sells abroad. They're really tough, and they're tough anyway. But right now, they're extra tough. But the best scripts I've written are drama. Dramas are tough to sell because of everything we've experienced, especially now. They're especially tough. But I tell you, the best scripts I've ever read are dramas.
Would you consider making a feature-length film for $10,000 right now?
I've made a feature-length film for $10,000. I've made a 48-minute pilot for $500. Budget's never an issue for me. I think we talked about recently coming out of this year and what a horrible disappointment it's been, I think, for everybody. Licking our wounds, the great losses we've had. I think it sadly started with Kobe and then Neil Peart from Rush, and then just went into COVID and just crashed and burned and just kept burning. Yeah, we're at that point where I think the next one, just to keep the risk factor down and just to get out and shake the dust off. I mean, we're not going to spend 10 grand, but we're going to keep the budget low and go out and have some fun. I would do something for 10 grand tomorrow. Absolutely, I would. I hope I elaborated on that. And it's a yes or no. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's where I started. My first short was, I was told I'd have $25,000 to make it. And by the time we rolled camera, I had $5 grand,
What happened to the rest of the money?
Oh, bullshit. Oh, I got 25 grand. I'll give you 25 grand. Let's go make this. And, well, I've got 5. Okay.
So is that your litmus test? If they tell you to subtract, what, like 70% or something?
I don't work that way anymore. I was young, and it was my first director job, and, I had a script, and it was with a group of people I wanted to work with, and somebody came to me and said, I want to finance, one of your projects, and I was like, great. And they said, I'll give you 25 grand, and to me, that was a lot of money. I knew what I could do with 25 grand, and we went the first day, and I was told after we were 2 hours in, oh, by the way, I was only able to come up with 5 grand.
Oh.
I still gave them the same film they would have gotten for 25, but I still got an Academy Award nominated actor.
That's great.
Did it for 5, yeah. So I'm all for those no budget films. I love it.
What's the lowest budget you would consider?
I never consider a budget. To me, look, you're either going to get paid or you're not. I don't do shorts because they take as much time and energy. They're just longer on the screen. You still have to pre-produce them. You still have to cast them. You still have to hire a crew. You still have to feed people. You still have to get locations. You still have to put gas in cars. So, the first thing I ever did, I did a 46-minute pilot for $500, and somebody came to me once and said, you did that for $500. It's 48 minutes. Why don't you make a 90-minute movie for $1,000? And I wound up getting like 10 or 12 to do it, but we did it. And it was fun. And, you grow. I mean, you make your projects to grow, but sometimes the right thing comes along. And when you get to the point you are in my life where I'm at, it's you're going to make money doing this or you're not. Are you doing it for the money? Don't do them. If you're doing them because you want to stay relevant, you're doing it because you want to keep the muscles toned, because you believe in something or someone, or you just want to, like right now, we've been indoors for 5.5 months. I'll go pay to work right now. I mean, I just want to get out of the house and yell action and cut and argue with an actor and yell at a DP about something or a PA for wearing a red shirt on I don't care. For me, it's just, I've literally been sitting on my ass for 5.5 months. Now, we've been very productive, but I still have been sitting on my ass for 5.5 months. So do I want to sit at home and not make money, or do I want to go out and have some fun with people I care about and create and have something to show for the year? So there's no limits on budget or any of that for me. It's just go, how much you got? What do you want to make? Let's do it. That's how I work.